Hey everyone, and welcome back to my channel. It's Jo here. I hope you're all well and having a wonderful day. If you're new here, I'm Jo. I do craft videos and I do haul videos. If you like the video, give it a thumbs up. If you leave a comment, I will reply. And if you've not subscribed and you want to see more from me, then it'd be wonderful if you joined our family and friends. If you're returning, as always, my friends, thank you so much for your continued support. I think we're nearly coming up to me being a year of doing YouTube, and yeah, I've loved every single minute of it, and I've loved being so creative and sharing my crafts with you. So for today's craft, I did some birdhouse hanging decorations. This is the third time I've tried to make these. The other two times I've made them, I didn't like them. So third time lucky, and yeah, I'll show you how I made these. So the first thing I'm using is some of the wooden stirrers. These are from Asda. You get 150 in a box and they're £1.25. They're a lot thinner than the craft sticks or popsicle sticks, so they're a lot easier to cut and ideal for this craft. So I'm taking one vertical stick and I'm going to take 3 horizontal sticks and I'm going to glue them together. I'm going to leave a gap at the top because I'm going to be making them smaller a bit later on. I'm going to flip that over, and this is what we're going to use for the frame of our birdhouse. And all I'm going to do now is continue to stick stirrers down, making sure that they are nice and even and there's hardly any gaps. And I'm going to do about 3/4 of the length. I'm going to do 2 and then I'm going to finish them off. So I'm just going to trim off the excess with a pair of scissors, and they're dead easy to cut these because, like I said, they're a lot thinner than the popsicle sticks that I use from Poundland. And I'm just going to glue the last one in place, and I'm going to do exactly the same with the other one. So now I've got my 2 bases. I'm going to turn it over and I'm going to measure what I want it to be. So I'm going to take 1.25 inches off the bottom, and I'm going to flip it over to mark it so that I'm not marking the front. So I'm just going to measure 1.25 inches. I'm going to do the same on the other side. Draw a line with a ruler. And then I'm just going to use a pair of scissors to cut this. And then I'm going to do exactly the same with the other one, so they're both exactly the same size. Like so. So I'll keep the ends because they come in handy for other crafts. And now I'm going to just create the shape that I want for my house. So I've just took off the sides of one of them, and now that I've got the shape that I want, I'm going to use it as a template to mark the other one, and then I'm going to cut that off. I used 2 sticks that I stuck together to get the shape that I wanted, and now that I've got my birdhouse shape, I'm going to use some of the popsicle sticks. These are from Poundland. I pay £1 for a pack of 100, and I'm just holding it in place roughly where I want it. I want it to hover, hang slightly on one side, and then in the center of the house I'm just going to draw a line. I'm going to cut this so it's at an angle, and then I'm going to use that as a template on another stick, mark it and cut that. And then when we put them together, it will create the roof of the birdhouse. So I'm going to do exactly the same with another 2 sticks for the other house, and then we can get ready for painting. So before I start to paint, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some A4 white card, and I'm just using this thimble. This was from some ribbon, and it's a 3cm circle. I'm just going to trace around the inside of it. I'm going to do 2, and then I'm going to cut them out. So these are going to be for the center of the birdhouse, which will be the hole, or what it looks like, the hole for the bird. So we've got the 2 circles, we've got 2 sticks for each decoration for the roof. And now that I've got cut everything to size, I'm going to paint the main body of the birdhouse. I'm going to use the yacht varnish from Poundland. I love this stuff. I need to pick some more up because I'm going to be using it in some other crafts. And I'm going to do a few coats and then leave it to dry overnight. Now while that's drying, what I'm going to do is I'm going to paint the sections of the birdhouse. So we've got the 4 sections, 2 for each house of the roof. And then I've got the 2 circles, 1 for each house. And then I'm also going to paint 2 extra full popsicle sticks as well. And I'm going to do all this in a dark acrylic brown paint. I was planning on making it a little bit lighter, but I didn't like it, so I started again and then did it in a dark brown. I'm going to do 2 coats and let everything dry. So it's the next day, everything's dry, and we can get on with sticking it all together. So I'm going to add the roof sections first, making sure that there's no gap at the top. Just going to use some hot glue. Stick down one section first, only lightly so I can move it, making sure that it's in the right place. And then once I'm happy with it, I can push it down. Then once I've put the 2 top bits on, I'm going to add the long stick at the bottom. And then to finish off, I'm going to add the circle in the centre. Now that I've got my 2 decorations, I'm going to start to work on decorating it. So the first thing I'm going to use is some of the egg nests. These were from Poundland and they were in the Easter section. I made sure that I had some extra because I wanted to use them for all the crafts, because I do like birdhouses and birds, so I knew I'd use them. Then I've got some of the Poundland Easter eggs left over, and I've also got some from Asda, and I'm not too sure if I'm going to use blue or green. If I use the blue ones, I'll use the Poundland ones. If I use the Asda ones, I'll use the green ones. So I'm just going to take out the plastic eggs of the birdhouse, and these just pull out. And then I'm going to replace them with the eggs in the colour that I want. So I went with green in the end because I'm going to be doing it green and white. So I've stuck in 3 eggs in each of the nests. And now I'm just going to add a little bit of greenery around the side, just one side. I'm going to glue it at one end and then glue it at the other. Now that that's in place, to hide the end of the stalk of the leaves, I'm going to just add a flower. I'm just using some small cream ones that I've got left over from another project. I'm just going to glue that in place on the side, one for each one. So the flowers are in place, and now to finish it off, I'm just going to add a little bit of this green moss. I got it from Wish. I think I paid a couple of pounds for it, including postage, and I'm just going to add a little bit around the outside. And that's the bird's nest done. So I'm going to stick one on the right hand side, and I actually stuck them both on the right hand side to start off with, and then later on I moved one of them to the left hand side. So I've got one now that they're finished on the right and one on the left, but here I did stick them both on the right, and I changed them because I decided to add the birds a little bit later on and I wanted it to look even. But here they are stuck on. So now I'm going to add some leaves just around the bird's nest, and these come in a set of 3, and I've just cut them so that there are single leaves, and I'm just going to add 2 just on one side. And then this was where I decided to actually move the bird's nest to the other side. So I've done that. I've took all the glue off and moved it over. And now to finish off around the bird's nest, I'm going to add some white gypsy grass, and I'm just going to put a few bits around on top of the leaves that we've just put in place. Now, I decided that it needed something to bring it out a little bit more. It was looking a little bit flat, so I've used some of the Poundland gold ribbon. This was from the Christmas section, and this is the last bit that I've got. So I'm going to start in the center of the house, and I'm going to work my way around the lollipop sticks, and I'm going to go all the way around the top of the roof and glue it in place, and then I'm going to do exactly the same around the bottom. So now that I've done the roof and the bottom of the birdhouse, I'm actually going to add some in the centre around the circle. I'm going to start it on this side so that the join is here, and I'm going to hide it in a little bit with some moss. And I'm so glad I added the ribbon. It was a little bit tricky trying to stick it down, but I'm really glad that I took the time to do it. And I was planning on using some little leaves to hide the ribbon where it joins, but in the end I just used a little bit of moss because I didn't like the way that the leaves looked. So I'm just going to add some moss in the centre. So now that I've added the moss just to hide the join of the ribbon, we can carry on decorating. So on the side of the birdhouse where there's quite a lot of space on the roof, I'm just going to add some small bits of leaves. Then I'm going to pop one of the cream flowers in the centre, the same one as we used on the bird's nest. And then I added a little bit of gypsy grass as well. And because I lifted it up, I noticed there was a bit of a gap at the bottom, so now I'm just going to add some more greenery underneath the bird's nest. And then for our bit to hang it up, I'm using some of this ribbon. This is from Asda, and it's £1 for a roll of it. So I'm just going to cut some small sections, fold it over and glue it, and then I'm going to glue it to the back of the birdhouse at the top. And now that's in place, I'm going to do the last two steps. I'm just going to add one of these green leaves, and I'm just going to add it at the back, and this is because it's going to be on a white wall, so I want the bird to stand out because obviously it's white, so this is just to make sure you can see the bird. So I've glued one on each side, and now I'm going to glue one of the birds to each birdhouse. These are from Wish. I paid a couple of pounds including postage. I'm just going to pull out the feet so that it sits nice and neatly on top of the birdhouse. And these are just polystyrene with feathers glued onto them. So I'm going to glue one on each side, and then we can have a look what they look like. So here they are. They're not going here. I just put them here for now so you could see them. I normally have my blue hearts hung up, which I also made a couple of months ago, but yeah, I've just put them up for now so you can see them, and this is what it looks like. I'm really glad that I added the gold ribbon. It definitely makes a difference, and I love the greenery, and I love the egg's nest, and I'm so happy I added the bird. It's been really fun, even though this is my third attempt, but you know, if first you don't succeed, try again. So yeah, I am going to be trying a home decor piece. I've had an idea for a home decor piece that I'm going to be trying for Monday. I've got tomorrow, Saturday, Sunday and Monday to try and do it. I'm going to start it tomorrow, and if I don't like it, I'm going to change to something else. So tomorrow will be a bit of a trial to see if what I want to do will work. So hopefully you'll get to see that on Monday. If not, I'll tell you on Monday what it was, and there'll be something else. So take care for now. Have a wonderful weekend. Love you loads, and I'll see you on Monday. Bye for now.